something she wants to talk about?
I just have a question for Rachel. And just so everyone knows, I did
Okay.
not ask her this beforehand. So
Okay.
really interested in
Now
what
I'm
she's
getting
going to say.
nervous.
But I'm sure you have seen the news that Devin from The Bachelorette, he was the winner. And after he won, he broke up with Jenn pretty quickly after and was absolutely awful at the finale and basically like didn't really apologize and was just kind of like trying to he went on there to try to make himself look better, somehow made himself look worse. And now it's come out that he had a restraining order prior to being cast on The Bachelorette. And I just wanted to know, as someone who was a lead for that franchise, do you feel, at least on your season, did you feel like you had like zero worries about what men were casted? And like, do you think that they should do a better job, I guess? And I don't even know if you're allowed to answer this, so feel free to say you can't.
I don't care. I'm gonna answer it. I don't know if I'm allowed or not either.
Okay.
Had stopped me before, but I mean, you go through a lot of tests before you are even allowed to be on the show, which cancels out a lot of people. It's been told to me what most people get canceled out for is the STD test because we're tested for all of that. And a lot of times people don't pass, they're unaware that they have something. And so, like, a lot of good candidates don't make it through. But we're tested for that. We go through a psych test, we go through a criminal background test. And I would assume that that doesn't just mean going through social media, which we've seen them fail at times and time again before, but also criminal. Like, if there's something else out there that could be harmful to the other contestants or to the lead in itself. So when I walked on, I felt fully safe to explore fantasy suites however I wanted to. Also, the fact that I wasn't with some person who has done something in the past that might affect me if they're the one that's chosen. So it's wild to me that, I've seen some of this stuff come out because it's just been such a big deal, even without watching the show. It's wild to me that this is something that could slip through the cracks. It's wild to me that they didn't know this. So either it slipped through the cracks or they knew about it and didn't make it a big deal, or they didn't think it was a big deal, which both are so wrong. And the fact that Jenn, because it's one thing, this is why this is so wild to me. We hear about things slipping through the cracks, but it's never, and now I'm not talking about social media, I'm talking about like a criminal past. We've heard about it before, but it's never been somebody who's made it this far. It's never been somebody who's been chosen as far as I know. I could be wrong about this. So the fact that she picked this guy, wanted to be with this guy, cried over this guy, said yes, proposed to this man. And he has a history of, to the point where, I don't know the full details, but to the point where he got a restraining order granted against him. And I think he ripped it up in front of her.
No,
and
he lit it on fire.
Lit it on fire, violated it. And she could have been in, this is extreme. This is a big deal. This isn't me shitting on the show for the way they handle race. This is actually protecting people. That's terrifying to me. And the show needs to figure this out. How do you not do it? If Reality Steve can figure this out, you should be able to figure it out.
Right.
You have all the means, all the tools. You've been doing this for 20 plus years. How did you not know this man had a restraining order? How? I don't get it.
That both Juliet and I had the same question. And I didn't even think that they knew and just didn't. Like, if they knew, they were hoping it just never came out, which I feel like is a huge reach for a platform that big.
Right.
But yeah.
And if it slipped through the cracks, how did you not do a simple search? Simple. It's not like he was a juvenile and this was sealed. This was public information out there. Redditors, I'm sure, figured this out as well, or were able to do a deep dive. So I don't know. Do you not care? Did you want this to be a storyline? Did you want no, in no way does this make the franchise look good.
No, also you're going to now eliminate some candidates that would want to be the lead that are good leads. Like there's a reason why people we know of now that they asked other people to be the Bachelorette before Jen. There's a reason why they passed. And I feel like you need to be able to protect the lead and the contestants. Otherwise, like the show's over.
Yeah, and even though I didn't watch the show and I don't follow, like once I saw the finale, like what people were saying about the finale, I was doing a deep TikTok dive to get caught
Mhm.
up on what was happening because I was like, why is it such a big deal? And then in doing that, I saw that there were other shitty contestants as well on her season.
Mhm.
The men on that they pick on these shows are terrible, it seems like. I know they're not all that way, but they just seem to be the worst of the worst when it comes to men.
Mhm.
And luckily for Jen, she was able to get this information out before she went down too far. I know her heart is hurting and this is embarrassing for her that she chose this guy and he did her in this way. But thank God you found out before the
Yeah.
engagement went longer and you married this guy, and
Mhm.
then, he's trying to take you for half of everything and receives support as well. Spouses support both. So like,
Because
thank God in
as
the
we
long
know,
run it's
divorce
gonna
is
work
not
out.
fun. Yes.
No, it could be worse.